Hey guys, Goresh here. So I just wanted to contribute to this video, which is obviously about GachaTalks a full year after his unfortunate passing. But pretty much, going back to how we met through 5 9 Gaming. He was one of the first members to join 5 9 pretty early on in its lifespan. But it was, way back. This was like early 2021, I want to say, is when we met for the first time. But what happened was he was actually designated as the person who would conduct the interviews during the interview video series we used to do, to sort of introduce the creators in the channel. So my first interaction with him personally was when we did the interview, my interview for that. So that was the first time I had ever spoken to before, and it was actually through a video that we did. But I also remember he participated in some of the non-Dragon Ball / Gacha stuff we were covering, which was actually really helpful for us. And it was pretty cool to know that we had other creators part of 5 9 back then, really back in the early days, who, had interests that weren't just, Dokkan Legend, stuff like that. And I specifically remember the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity demo video we did. The demo for the game just dropped. And I think we both sat in the voice chat because I remember specifically playing around and just sitting in the VC. And I think we were talking to each other, not even on camera. This is before we even started recording back, I don't know, maybe it was like 30, 40 minutes. And then we started recording. So we actually had a lot to talk about to each other, just about, games and stuff like that. And that was like the first off-camera experience that I had talking with him. But GachaTalks was always somebody who had an upbeat and energetic personality. He was always ready to help out with projects or anything else that we were working on at the time. And I think what left a lasting impression on me the most was whenever somebody would stream, he would a lot of the time be hanging out in the call with them, even if, he wasn't directly participating in the stream. And to me, that just said a lot about the type of person he was. He just, liked being around other people and enjoying their company. And I could definitely say the same for everyone else with regards to their feelings about GachaTalks as well. It was just a mutual feeling. And I don't think I've ever spoken to anybody who didn't genuinely enjoy his company, with whatever they were doing together, whether it was recording a video or just hanging out in the voice chat or whatever it was. He had a pretty tight-knit group of friends. I wouldn't exactly call myself like one of his better friends, but, I definitely enjoyed his company, and I could tell that he was genuinely just a pleasant person to be around. And overall, I'm obviously extremely sad that he's no longer with us, but just looking back at the memories that he left with us, I think the best way to honor him is by cherishing those memories and remembering him for his impact that he had on us as a person.
Hey everybody, Sirloafofbread here. Just wanted to say a few things about GachaTalks and, and how much of a good friend he was to me. I guess the first thing I could really say is that I do really genuinely miss him a lot. He was the type of guy where if you go into like a call with him, you just always make your day. And, the year without him, it's going to be almost a year now without him. It feels like the whole group has missing something, something like something where's positive energy, like 24/7. Like this man, he's always had a positive energy wherever he went, wherever he goes, whenever he was live, whenever he made his videos. Like, not to mention the amount of videos he made, like he just kept on making positive energy towards not only towards us as friends or the group in general, but to his community as well, the community that he built up. And the community itself, like, there's still people talking in his Discord every now and then, and that's kind of strong. That's really strong. And it's it's heartwarming to see that. I'm not gonna go super mopey sappy on anyone. I had come to terms with a lot of things that's happened throughout the year, and I'm so happy that for a lot of us that we found our peace in our lives. But like I said before, like there's something missing, and that spot will never be replaced because he was a really good friend of ours. Other than that, I'm gonna miss that guy. Like, he was such a inspiration, not to just like his friends group, but a lot of people as well. Like, even for me, like, he pushed me to like make content every day, and I'm not doing it every day now, but like, whenever I do end up doing some type of content, like, I start thinking about him. Like, this guy, like, he grinded so much, like, he made so many videos in such a short amount of time. Like, I'm gonna miss the moments where we're talking about like something random happening, right, in our group calls or something, and then he'll just start talking, and then out of nowhere he just blurts out like, "Instant transmission," and then he's just gone. Nothing. We don't even understand what just happened. And he comes back like 20 minutes later. It's just like, yeah, I just made like 5 videos just now, and just like, Nani? But yeah, it's kind of funny stuff like that. It's just like, he would just randomly just say that at no context, and we're just like, okay, Gotcha's gone now. He dipped from our conversation. It's like, okay, goodbye. We'll talk to you again later. Oh man, and now seeing that stuff, like, man, there's so many things I wish I could have said to the guy. Like, there's so many things in my life that there are things I regret, and I think the one thing I do regret is that, especially for him, is that I wish I could have said to him, like, the last day he was on VC, that like, "I love you, man," or something like that. And now I won't have the chance. Anyway, like I said, I'm not gonna go mopey. I'm not gonna go sad or anything. But I'll miss you, GachaTalks. You're a good friend, and you're a good brother, good mentor, good inspiration. I'll miss you, buddy.
Oh boy, how do I even begin this? Gotcha. I miss you, bud. I do. I was just thinking about Gotcha just recently when I went to PAX West, and I actually had a combo with a common friend, James. We were just talking about some of the people from 5 9 and just going over some memories and stuff like that. And so, it's crazy because my when I first met Gotcha, it was through 5 9, and we actually he did my interview, and that was like one of the first things I did when I joined 5 9, and so that's how I got to talk to him and got to know more about Gotcha. Amazing guy, amazing guy. One of the first people that I got to meet that were that I was brand new to 5 9, and so clicked off really well. Kingdom Hearts. It's that one game. If someone else knows that game, you guys instantly connect. And so he knew Kingdom Hearts. We bonded over it. We said at one point we were going to try to do a Kingdom Hearts podcast. It didn't happen, unfortunately, but that was the goal at one point. But I had to say, I thought about Gotcha just recently when I was at PAX West, because that trip was a big trip for me. And Gotcha is someone who really pushed me to want to continue to, pursue, actual, content creation and getting more into like the actual field of gaming. I'm talking about console gaming, the media aspect of it. And, he was someone who pushed me when I wasn't sure what to do. When I joined 5 9, I was kind of conflicted in a spot where, do I want to stick with Dragon Ball, or do I really want to pursue something serious in gaming? And Gotcha was one of the first people to actually push me to do that. So I'll always think of him when I pursue myself more and just continue to get more into this field and industry. I'm always gonna think about Gotcha as one of those people who did push me to where I'm at today. And so I'm always gonna be grateful for that, for those conversations that Gotcha used to have with me. Like, hey, just, if you don't want to do Dragon Ball stuff, like, do what you want to do, right? You want to, do the console gaming and stuff like that. Like, you just got to go ahead and do it. And so, I've made so much more progress into that dream. And so I can't help but think, like, Gotcha was one of those people that I remember really pushing me. At one point, I was still doing Dragon Ball content when I didn't want to do Dragon Ball content. And Gotcha was always like, yo, stop doing that. Go and do what you want to do, dog. Stop doing that. And I'll never forget that. That's going to be something that I'll never forget. And so, it pains me to know that, like, he's not with us. But, I can't as much as this journey is for me, it's gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna be doing it for me, and he'll be someone that I'm also gonna be doing it for, and so it just means a lot what you did for me, Gacha, and so I'm always never gonna forget that. But I'll always remember that is the biggest thing I think you've done for me is you push me, so I can push myself into the career of gaming and whatnot. So thank you so much, Gacha. I appreciate that, and I miss you, bud. I do. But one day we'll see each other.
I've not really thought too much about what I want to say here, because ultimately I just want to say what I feel rather than thinking about what I feel. And when it comes to talking about Gacha, it can be quite difficult for me. Obviously I know Gacha's real name was Richie, but we always called each other Gacha and Hayes, even though he knew my name was John. So I'm going to continue to call him Gacha when I'm talking about him. But I first met Gacha right back early on when I started doing Dokkan content on YouTube. I was not very well known for it, just like Gacha wasn't very well known for it. And we used to just chat quite a bit, kind of give each other ideas and talk about what we wanted to do and stuff. And at the start, it was quite a quiet time. We didn't talk that much. But as time passed, we started to talk quite a lot, and we just so happened to continue to mix in the same circles like 5-9 Gaming and stuff like that, and we became quite close. And obviously we moved on to start doing Disgaea content together, and like content wise we spoke quite a lot, but that's not really how I became friendly with Gacha. It was more when we didn't talk about content, it was more just talking to each other about things. Gacha was the type of guy that just liked to chat, whether it was talking about his interests, talking about things that were going on at home and stuff like that. We kind of opened up quite a lot to each other, and in a lot of ways we've got quite a lot in common. Both of us didn't necessarily have the easiest of childhoods, and we kind of opened up to each other about that and connected on that. And I'd say that the thing that I probably miss most about GachaTalks is just having that friend that you can really talk to about whatever you want to talk to him about. I've kind of, to be completely honest, this year in particularly, especially towards the end of the year, well, I say the end of the year, you know what I mean, the end of the last 12 months since Gacha passed, I've found myself more and more thinking about him, because I'm going through quite a lot in my personal life just now, and he's exactly the type of guy that I would have probably reached out to and spoke to about it, and it's been quite noticeable that he's not been there. And I mean, if I'm being honest, I've really, really missed the guy. I know a lot of people, again, probably think about him as Gacha the content creator. I don't. I think about him more as Gacha the person. He was just a really good guy to hang with, to talk with, to be friends with. He was funny, but he was caring as well, and some people might not know that side of him, but he was a really caring guy that cared about what you had to say, and if he was comfortable with you, he would open up to you and tell you about things that was happening with him in his life. And it's just really, really sad, because the guy was quite goal orientated, and a lot of the stuff that he was trying to do was starting to come together, and it was just really cruel what happened. And I'm going to miss him. I'm always going to miss him, and I can't believe it's been a year. I'll always remember GachaTalks, and I don't even know what else to say, but I'll miss you, Gacha. I'll always miss you.
Hi, it's Patrick, and I'm one of Richard's buddies from Northwest Arkansas. I've known Richard since 2017. We both worked together at our old job, and just before he had passed, I was also a contributor to his YouTube channel. We brainstormed, we would celebrate his milestone from his 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers, and even before he had passed his 5,000 subscribers. And that's where we both caught COVID, and he ended up passing. But I know that Richard's in a better place, and Richard had seen some darker times, but I'm thankful to be a part of Richard's life, and his legacy will still continue to live on through me and through all of us. And thank y'all so much for showing all your love and support to Richard and to GachaTalks. I have a shirt on right here, created by his mom. And thank y'all so much, and thanks for showing so much love for Richard, for his YouTube channel. and for however it was able to grow. And thank y'all for collaborating for this video.
One of the many things that Gacha was known for, especially in the beginning, was his Real Talk podcast, where he would interview a bunch of different people that he just wanted to genuinely meet, genuinely talk to, or maybe even looked up to. And on September 21st of 2020 is the day I officially began talking to him, when he actually invited me onto his podcast, which I'm definitely very honored to say. The thing is, I can't, at least at the time, I couldn't pinpoint what was it about our dynamic, but we clicked from the get-go, man. Like, right now I can say, like, looking back, I can definitely say that Gacha's genuine love and passion for recording and his enthusiasm for talking to new people and meeting new people was something I definitely gravitated towards, especially at the time, because I started YouTube a year before, and I started YouTube because of a, fairly negative headspace I was in, which definitely lingered into the year 2020. So having someone of that energy around me, or even just around at all, was something I definitely just naturally gravitated towards. And from that day on, maybe for like the next 6, 7, 8 months, we were talking basically every single day. That man became sort of like a brother in a very short period of time, which is very, abnormal for me. I don't usually get that close to people, at least that quick. And even on his, we became like content fiends. We were recording, I would say without a shadow of a doubt, we have over 20 videos over on his channel that we recorded within a span of a few months. We were just, every single idea we had, we were just in each other's DMs talking, let's record this, let's record that. We were on our grind. And that's the one thing I really, again, appreciate about Gacha is, again, his genuine love for recording. He was really about his grind. And I'll always remember, I can't think of the exact words at the moment, but we were having a conversation that basically went along the lines of, thinking or imagining both of us, reaching 100K subs one day, or collaborating with, the big content creators, like sharing the stage or sharing a video with like the biggest creators in the scene, and how crazy cool that would be. And it's one of those things that, you really think it could happen eventually, but it's not really realistic until, you see it happen. And that conversation we had very early on when I met Gacha, and I kid you not, literally less than 2 months later, after I met him and we had that conversation, he was able to bring Nanogenics onto the Real Talk podcast. And that moment, there's many things you could have felt at that moment, right? One of them could have been feeling envious, because remember, Gacha at that time wasn't the biggest creator of all. So for him to land, and I'm talking from the perspective of other creators at the time, right? For someone like Gacha to land a collaboration like that was absolutely insane. And for me specifically, when I saw that, that's when I realized that anything that you really put your mind to is genuinely possible. And I already knew that. But again, one thing is knowing something, and then one thing is experiencing it. And then having that experience be able to validate the belief itself, right? And it wasn't really about collaborating with Nano or collaborating with anyone else. It's being able to see someone like Gacha be able to land something like that we talked about. And I still saw as low-key an impossibility for me. But when he was able to do that, I realized that dude, there really is no impossibility at the end of the day. Like, I knew that, but Gacha showed me that. And every little success I have now, and the majority of everything I do, is dedicated to that man, GachaTalks. And largely because he showed me that there really is no impossibility out there, no matter how crazy it seems. And if there's one thing I think he would tell me right now, is to never give up and to continue grinding. And I think that message goes for you as well. I don't think he'd want us, based on our conversations and the way he was, I can tell you he would not want us sitting around wasting our time and just not really being productive. If there's something that we want, something that we really desire, it's not impossible to get it. And I may have already believed that before, but Gacha was one of the very few people who showed me that it's actually legitimately possible. So I will always, always, always appreciate Gacha for that. And he knows I love him, and I will always appreciate him. So please, if you're listening to this, if there's something that you want to do, something that you feel like you need to do, just go get it done. Because it's possible, and you may not know how, but I'm telling you, you're going to discover more about yourself and about that goal while you're on the journey than rather not being on that journey at all.
I wasn't sure what exactly to do for this video, so I kind of figured I'd just tell the story about how me and Gacha met, because it always makes me laugh, and I figured it's honestly such a great example of just like how genuine and kind and amazing of a person he was. So funny enough, I actually met Gacha not doing any Gacha related things. This would have been back in like May 2020. Yeah. This was just when I started, doing YouTube at all. And there was another creator, Stanky Wafers, I knew, who had done a podcast with him. And Stanky reached out to me and said, hey, I'd done this podcast with this guy named GachaTalks, and he's looking for someone else to be on it. Do you want to hop on? And I'm like, sure, why not? I'll go jump on. What's the worst that could happen? He's like, dope, just go hit him up and let him know. So I reach out to Gacha, small talk a little bit, and then, let him know that I want to be on the podcast. And he goes, great. The topic is girl advice / relationship advice. And immediately, I am genuinely panicking. The best way to describe how well I do with relationships and just people in general is, the no bitches meme. I'm the person that Megamind is probably talking about. So I immediately, I'm trying to do anything I can to not be a part of this podcast. And in what becomes a very often reoccurrence in the time that I knew him, he just starts pepping me up, and he's like, oh no, man, you can't be that bad. I'm sure you'll be fine. You got some advice, you got this. And he talks me into it. And this is a couple of days later, and I get on that podcast, and I don't know if I say anything of any significance for the whole 30 minutes. And I feel like every time it comes to me, he feels like I'm floundering. So I always cut in and, do something to, make me feel like I'm not just drowning. But yeah, and then, the podcast ended. Didn't talk to him for a little bit after that, but then I got back in touch with him, stayed in touch, we just, talk here and there and whatnot. Did another couple collabs just on my channel, and then one day, 5'9" was looking for a video editor, and he told me to send in my application, because I don't know what exactly was going on, but he mentioned that they were having him look through the applications, and I got no proof of this, but I have a really, really big feeling that he had a huge part of me getting in, because I had never even used Adobe Premiere at that point. I had been editing for all of 3 months. The only significant editing experience or portfolio that I had was the couple collabs that he did that he let me edit just so I could have some experience. His first collab with Goresh and with Jay Fanta, he had me edit that shit. And why? But there was no reason for him to, besides the fact that he was just trying to help me out. I don't know. So I guess that's there's in my mind, there's so few people in this world who are both just genuinely good people and kind the way that he was. And I know that seems like a really little thing, but I don't know. I guess that's what I remember him most for.
Hello guys, it's Kensei, and thank you James for reaching out to me, because of course we are making a video on our homeboy here Gacha, and his first like 1 year later is basically coming here very soon. So I want to basically participate in this video, and I really hope that you guys will have, you know, the same experience as me, as I did with this guy here. He's just a fantastic dude, a very, like, he felt like a brother to me. Like we just like hit it off like when the first time we met here. So we met through a company, and we did a special project for that company. And once me and him, you know, talked in depth and everything, we got everything, you know, set up for this project. Me and him just kept on talking, and once this, you know, project was over with, we just, you know, just talking. We never stopped talking to each other. I think we was talking like on VC chats and everything. And then I think a year after we all let, well, I think like a year after he went to go do his own thing, he basically still kept on contact with me and other people as well, James BodyTube, who we just, you know, felt more comfortable with him more than anything. Just like with him, it's just like it was something special. It was very special, and I don't know, it was just something that he brought us together, and it was a good thing. So this guy just brought a lot of people together. He brought in basically me. He brought in James. He brought in Dokkan Assests, who's one of my brothers, like one of my brothers in blood, as well as James, Kayvon. We have, you know, one of my friends here in real life as well, who also, you know, joined the group as well. He's part of this family as well on the internet. And it's for some, like this guy here, just GachaTalks, Richard, he just he brought the whole group together, and it was just a fun time, honestly. Like having fun, like on the BC, just talking about random stuff, especially Dokkan. It's just hilarious on how we have fights about Dokkan, and, you know, just like speculating about like the next unit, you know, sometimes staying up like at 6 in the morning for that. I remember one time, or that one moment, where everybody was trying to wait for LR Janimba. And we all said, I mean, it was like supposed to be that one day, because they usually do it on Tuesday, and then it didn't happen. So it's like we were waiting for months, no, not months, but waiting for days before that, because we thought, okay, it's gonna be this day, and then it's gonna be that day, and then everybody, you know, he started a movement on Twitter saying there's no Janimba, Janimba's canceled, everything. That was just a fun time, honestly. Like he really did brought the community like into one, just having a fun time, which is like this guy can do that with an ease, which is so magical. So yeah, this guy is like the most sweetest person ever. He was doing YouTube as well, like he was doing Dokkan tuber, like pretty much Dokkan content technically. So like he's just been the type of person who loves to do this kind of stuff. He doesn't care about how does, you know, thumbnails look like right here. Just actually pretty kind of cool that he didn't care about anything about thumbnails. He even reused some thumbnails and just added some stuff. It was just kind of hilarious, like right here and right here. It's just very, very, like he's a really funny guy. You know, sometimes he uses his face here, and also he you know, strips naked as well, like half naked, and just put it in the videos, which is hilarious. Also, he also screams a lot. It's just, his videos were something for sure. It was something, but unfortunately, he was hanging out with one of his friends in real life, and I think he went to some kind of restaurant, and I think that's how he got COVID by that. And we were, you know, we were notified by him saying, oh well, like had COVID and everything, like, you know, like we told him, well, I told him specifically just take some days off because you're gonna be feeling kind of shit, and yeah, he did. So it's just I don't know, it was just a really tough time for us. I was not expecting to get even worse, because I think he was rushed to the hospital over there where he lives at, and that it got even more serious where to the point where all of our groups were very, very worried about him. And I even messaged him personally on his phone to see if he was okay, you know, if you're anything, but I didn't hear anything from his phone. And then until I think one of his real life friends contact us through Discord, I also think on Facebook, or I think it was Twitter, that we got informed that he was in the hospital getting treated. And that's what happened. And then so we a couple days, you know, went forward, and we got the terrible news. It was looking like he was going to go into pass through, but unfortunately we got the news that he unfortunately passed away on the 20th of September, and that was just not a great day for everybody, because it was just the whole community just came together and we all mourn in that. So it's like, it was very tough, honestly. It's been a year later, and it's unbelievable that it's been a year. It feels like decades, honestly. It feels like years into years that this guy, my best friend here, my brother, just passed away here. And it doesn't feel real, honestly. It does not feel real, but yeah, his content is just so fun to see. Like, he had a lot of views in every video, which is really fun to see him just, you know, pop off and everything. Just make some videos here, which is really, really fun. So a year passed here, and we all met, like the group chat, like our VC chat group met in real life, which was actually one of the most wonderful, like I would say like a fever dream. It felt like a fever dream, honestly. Like, it felt like a dream that all of us just got together into pretty much attending his funeral. I shout out to our boy Soviet for, you know, buying my ticket, and also I shout out to Nolar as well for, you know, putting some funds into the hotel and everything. That was just a grateful moment there. We appreciate the people who, you know, support us to go over there and everything. So I appreciate those guys. I will never forgive them at all, that like whatever they done to us, honestly. Like, it was just really, really like blissful. So yeah, during that time where we all went to the funeral, it was just very, very like, we all came there just to have fun, and also as well to attend the funeral. And, you know, we were there to, you know, attend the funeral, and it was a very emotional. It was one time we all just came in and into that funeral house, and we entered, and it was just like the emotions right there just hit us. It hit us so hard that he was right in front of us. Like, it was like a dream for me, honestly. I wish that we would have seen him, would seen a body, but respects to the family that they want to ash him, which is fine. And it was just a very heavy emotion when we arrived there. Everybody was silent. Definitely all of us were taking a moment to look at the little, you know, pot, I don't know what to call, where they hold the ash and everything. We were just struck that he was right in front of us, and I definitely was the first one of them that I broke down for sure on that day, and it was a very emotional thing. So yeah, that memorial was one of the most memorable things ever. His mom was so sweet, his family, his friends are also so sweet. We got to pretty much, the Dokkan community came together to do this, you know, give some kind of like, I think, put in their names. I think it was like Dokkan Assests. He invited to the community to post their names into this poster, pretty much saying, you know, their farewells and their gratitude for Gacha and everything. So also tell them that Gacha had a huge impact into the community of the Dokkan community, and it was just a sweet thing. It was so hard to see his mother just cry right in front of us. It was just very impactful for sure. She's so sweet. Definitely would love to go to visit her one day down there and seeing how well she's doing. And definitely for sure I would plan that out probably in the near future for sure, to see how well she is. Hopefully one day all of us go into Miami, Florida, or whatever she's currently living at, and we're going to, you know, surprise her and saying, hey, we are here, or, you know, plan out something at least, so we can say, you know, hey, it's been a year, we haven't forgotten about you at all. We still, you know, remember you for sure. So there are things that I do remember about Gacha that we all had fun when doing content on YouTube. I do remember this video here that we all did. The Dokkan tubers and Dokkan players remember this. It was just an idea that I did. I intentionally invited Dokkan Assests. I invited Gacha, James, and Loaf, and then, you know, Viper. And something just happened is that our homeboy Fleek here, he just popped in the VC one day, and then, you know what, I was like, okay, we can bring this guy here and, you know, play these, guess the Dokkan OST, and it was a really fun time. It was a 31-minute video. If James wants to play some clips here, he will. And just find some funny moments, like, you know, just Gacha being himself, being a dummy, and just being that type of person who will make us laugh. And, you know, just, yeah, you will see some clips here that he was just a very fun person. All right, so other video that I liked about that we did as well, or one of the most memorable things that we did together as pretty much Dokkan tubers together, is that we did this, you know, this crossover race, and it was just fun time. Me and him were like the type of buddies that were always clapping with each other. It was just a fun time, honestly. Definitely, I miss the times where you know, Dokkan tubers would come back, like we'll come together and do like some kind of race, or, you know, some kind of topic. There was times where there was that one video, I forgot when was it, that we had everybody on that VC, and then he did like a really funny showcase about Chowman, I think that was his name, Chowman, remember correctly. Like, he did that one funny video, and they were just laughing, and I don't know, I think he was pretty influenced of some kind of liquid that day, I remember correctly. And it was just a fun time. I think it was like me, James, Soap, everybody were just watching doing his showcase. And then I think like on a video talking about like hit, I don't remember, but if James wants to put some clips here, he would definitely put them there. But yeah, so definitely those were like some kind of a fun videos. Like right here, I'm gonna see if I can find it. That's a funny right there thumbnail. Just black screen, a ticket, and then Gogeta, and then copy and paste right here. Oh my god, this guy didn't care about copy and pasting thumbnails, which is crazy. That's just fun. Honestly, this guy was just a different breed. He was just a different breed. And also, he also asked me as well, like, how to do thumbnails like that. Back in the day, I wasn't like, that, experienced in thumbnails. So I just told him about the basics of making thumbnails, which that was a great moment too as well. But if I had like, these minutes now, I would definitely have taught him some tricks and neat stuff to make his thumbnails look even better. He also, commissioned me some thumbnails. Not too often he like commissioned thumbnails, but he did one on like the April Fool's one that I made for him, which is that was a fun one to do for him. Exactly, like right here. I don't know what is this here, but that's kind of funny, and how he just put this PNG over Goku, which is kind of funny. Of this right here, that's kind of hilarious right there. Yeah, he's a person that who would do like doesn't really care about his thumbnails, right? Yeah, it's like a very drunk video, the Dokkan Fest hit versus I think it was like the legendary Goku event. It was just hilarious, and like he posted a picture right in the corner, which was very, very funny. Definitely, James, if you're listening to this, please put some clips of these two videos here. They were just hilarious. Like find like the most funniest one, and then just put some clips here. They were just too funny. It was just too funny. Yeah. I think that's about it so far that I actually want to talk about. It's just, just going through memory lane, just wishing that he was here for us, with us for sure, just making content. I'm pretty sure if he was still here, he would have gone crazy for these new units. Also talking about this new meta thing that we're just having, like the 20% leader skills. I'm pretty sure Gacha would have gone crazy on his videos talking about 200% leader skills, LR, Goku, and the God Boy, the Super Saiyan 4s, like Gogeta, this World Light campaign. It's like this guy would go crazy, and it's just, a really fun time to just being around him for sure. But I think that's about it. I just want to do a short video. I mean, it's been 14 minutes, so I do not want to make this video too long. So all right, guys, thank you for listening, and yeah, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace.
Starting off, I met Gacha around November 2020. It was a very short-lived conversation. The first one we had, it was about a couple sentences. It was actually in J Fanta's server. He said some words there. I think he like joined that moment and said some things. And I'm like, hey, it's GachaTalks. I know you. And then he's like, what's good, bro? And yeah, just the very, very casual things. I guess he was busy at the time, so it took him a while to respond to that. And I think prior to that, he did like randomly follow me, and I'm like, hey, I know this is. I'm like, holy crap, this guy like collab with Nanogenics. And unfortunately, we did not really talk too much until following up to some things. Like, yeah, we had our whole little thing. Well, we would be in Amazing server. We'd be talking just about anything. He'd be there. He'd be going side of. By the way, 2021 was a really, really bad year for me. This was like my peak depression arc, and it was really good to have him and Xeoxys just going at it, saying this and that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. It was so funny. I was finally able to like forget about everything and just laugh a lot. It was great, and so that's usually how we'd have a talk. Sometimes we'd have like a direct one-on-one conversation. We never really had like a direct one-on-one conversation in VCs. And eventually I was put into James' server around August 2021. So sadly, this is the round where I talked to him the most, and unfortunately it was leading up to the day, so I did not get as much time to talk to him. And yeah, so most of our conversations just followed up as like in DMs. It would just be us talking about some stuff that happened where we were memeing on the 6ix9ine gaming kind of stuff with Amazing's group, him and me and all that, and some other things we just did around. And then eventually, once I joined that server, we started talking a lot more, and this was unfortunately when he was starting to fall ill. And he introduced me to what was for a while my favorite anime, Higurashi, and that's how anytime he's in VC we had amazing talks about. He like wanted to know how I was thinking about it and how much I absolutely loved Higurashi, talking about how I could start the new one and all that, and that he was like catching up himself. And our last conversation that we had was about a month before the day, sadly. And I was also talking about, hey, you could finally start the new one and all that, and it was going great. And yeah, so that man, even though we haven't talked a lot, I know he really like brought everyone that we know now together, and it was really great that he would just be, in the VCs. Like he was being such an idiot. Like he was just such an idiot. I love just laughing at everything, like anything he did. Him and Xeoxys just like arguing with like someone like Amazing or just anyone in the VC, no matter where it was. It was really, really just chill, and it was chill and chaotic at the same time. But yeah, wanting like that man really, really helped me. Really just helped dealing with what I was going through that year, because anytime I would be laughing, I'm not thinking about what was actually happening. So having him there, unfortunately, I think he was aware of some things I was going through, but unfortunately I was never able to get more into it, so he never like properly knew. But whatever, anywhere, wherever he's chilling down to heaven, laughing at us for being idiots, I wish I could tell him how much I really, really appreciate it. As much as a jackass that I really am, the one time I would really be grateful is to Gacha for what he did for me last year. And it was a great time. And all of us, of course not me, everyone, all the homies, we all truly, truly, truly miss him, and really just wish it didn't have to go this way. He could have been here laughing with us, talking, just going crazy in both VCs. It was great, and I We all really miss him. Rest in peace, Gacha.
Richie Swigert, I can't believe it's already been 1 year since your passing, and not a day goes by where I do not think about you. You've impacted my life so much, and I know that you've impacted many others' lives as well. You've always had a positive attitude and a positive outlook everywhere you went. You were very personable, and you always brought good energy wherever you went. You always brought positive energy and a happy outlook wherever you went, and that's something I aspire to do. You inspired a lot of people with your YouTube channel, and I know you've reached out to a large community. One thing that you always told me was to follow your dreams and chase what you love, and you would always share with me the growth of your YouTube channel, and that inspired me to start my own endeavor, and I know that you have inspired others to start their own endeavors and follow their dreams and their loves as well. I'm glad I was able to spend the time that I did with you, and I was happy to call you my best friend and brother. I love you, buddy, and you'll always be in my memories.
I remember just meeting Gacha in just a random VC, and he was so chill. He was so fun to be around, and honestly, oh, it was so wholesome. Just being in a VC with him was amazing, and you could really feel like it always like surrounded him, and he just was an amazing guy. I always remember just like our late night VCs, or just whenever something happened in Dokkan, Gacha was right there and he was ready to record. He would deafen right away. Especially, I remember specifically Super Vegeta. When that Super Vegeta STR came out, he deafened and just went crazy. I remember that. Now, I have made him a couple thumbnails, and like I think those, like one of the April Fool's one was probably one of my favorites, even to this day. Even if it isn't like amazing, I still love it just because I made it for Gacha, and it was so fun. And I remember one of our like VCs that we were having was about the Demon Slayer Gacha that never came out. But I remember we said if it ever did come out, me, Calvin, and Gacha would record a video. That was something. I wish that happened. It would have been so fun. But I'm happy that at least it never did come out, so we didn't miss any of that. Would have been really fun, but obviously that did not happen. But Gacha was honestly just someone who was always positive and really like supported me if ever I was doing something on YouTube, even though I take like a lot of breaks. I think that like he definitely is one that's inspired me to even like try to do YouTube, and it's going great. So I'm really happy about that. But like Gacha, #1 supporter for sure. Anything I would do, and I just love him for it. I really do miss him, but I hope he's doing well.
Hello James, here is my video on my story of how I met Gacha and the impact that he left on me, memorable moments, and all that good stuff. So we're going to start, and I guess I'll just go in order of the list, so you can edit out these parts or leave them in, I guess, if you really want to. Alright. Me and Gacha actually met, funny enough, through Mr. Baby. There was a collab that me and Mr. Baby did. I think that would have been, gosh, like 2 years ago now. He did a Collabmas celebration where basically every single day up until Christmas, he did a different collab with a different Dokkan YouTuber. And that was one of the people who was picked to be on the roster for that, which was super fun. But I remember before we started recording, Gacha slid into my DMs and he said something like, hey, take care of Mr. Baby for me. And I was like, okay, my man is goofy. And at the time, I didn't really know him that well, right? Like, we followed each other on Twitter. You know, I'd seen some of his interviews before, and he'd seen my content on Twitter and stuff like that. And Mr. Baby, after we were done recording, was like, hey, there's someone who wants to join the call to meet you. And I was like, is it Gacha? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, bring him in here, get that man in here. And it was so funny because when we first met, he was kind of timid and a lot more shy about the interaction. We obviously had a really good time, and I'm sure that we ended up staying super late because whenever I meet someone online, I'm infamous for accidentally keeping them up till like 5 a.m. telling stories. But what was so funny about that interaction was later on, Gacha told me, he was like, yeah, that first night I was actually really scared to meet you. And I was like, what do you mean scared? It's me, bro. But obviously at the time, is a lot different of a dynamic because of course I'm somebody who's fairly well known in the community, and obviously at the time Gacha definitely didn't have as big of an audience as he did, right? And so I guess, you know, the numbers were a factor in that one. But it was so funny because at that time when he told me that story, we were basically at the point where we could just literally tell each other anything that was on our minds, and it would just be not a big deal. So it's so funny to me that that was kind of the origins of how we met together. Okay, there's a story. Let me take a drink of water. Sorry, I'm doing this on one take. It's just way easier that way. Okay, now for the impact that he left on me. Gacha certainly left a very big impact on me in a lot of different ways. One big way I think that he certainly impacted me was his work ethic and his drive for YouTube especially, but just really most things in general. Like, this man was an absolute crack feed when it came to content. Like, he would have 5 videos made about the new topic of whatever was happening in Dokkan at the time before I could even get a word out. Like, literally, we'd all be sitting in the VC and something would drop and we'd be like, right, Gacha? And then he'd be deaf and muted because he's already be recording a video. It was just how he was. He was always on the grind, which I really, really admire him. Not only did his example really shine through to me, but he always pushed me to, you know, kind of follow what I really wanted to do and to make the kind of content that I really wanted to make, right? And he was always very supportive and always, you know, was happy to hear about new ideas that I had for content and stuff like that. And so he was really a big inspiration for me in terms of going forward with what I decided to make on YouTube, for sure. And not just that, obviously him as a person with his personality and of course, you know, our personal relationships left a big impact on me. Obviously he was one of the, you know, key factors that not only kind of led all of the members of the friend group that I am a part of now together, right? Because the reason why we all met was basically because of him, right? We were all interconnected some way to Gacha, and so because of that, that's how we all ended up becoming friends in the end. And so it's honestly really impressive to me and such a cool thing that one person can have that big of an impact on just even a small group of people, but then looking at a bigger picture to a larger extent, because when we went to the memorial, that friend group that he basically, you know, created himself, right? When we all met up at his memorial service, and we attended when we all went to his memorial service, it was so incredible to see all of the people there that were coming in and out and that stayed the whole time that all knew him. Like, we were shocked at how many people came through to the memorial. Like, it was just insane to me how many people, you know, he touched throughout his life, right? I was not only just so impressed in terms of like, wow, okay, Gacha, I see you. It's so incredible to me that somebody can make that much of an impact, and especially in that short of amount of time. Okay, memorable memories. There are a ton of fantastic memories that I could share about me and Gacha together, whether that be stuff just hanging out in the VC or stuff with doing YouTube together. But I think one of our most fun moments that I can always recall is the Nimbus incident. With the Dragon Ball Battle Hour, we decided to stream it together. And I remember that was the specific time when we had like ad breaks almost every other second in the stream, and they played this stupid ad. If I can find the clip, I'll send it to James making this video so we can include it. But the Nimbus being in the stream, and I remember like every time it showed up, Gacha got further and further and further into craziness. And like finally, when we were so sick of seeing it, I remember he just went nuts, bro. Obviously playing it up for the camera a little bit, but it was just so funny. You just heard, and he's flipping his office chair, and you can see him on his camera going crazy. It was just so funny to be there live to experience that. I remember I was just like speechless because it was just so funny. Okay, anything else that I would like to add? Gacha, I want to thank you for all of the good times that we had together, despite how short it was. You most certainly left an impact on me and a lot of other people, and I think that's clear to see with not only your reach in just the community, but your reach in the wider world. I want to thank you for teaching me lots of great lessons and being such a valuable friend to not only me, but all of our friends and all of the people in the community.
I only got to meet Gacha probably once or twice, but even within that time span, I got to see what an impact he had on all the people he surrounded himself with, especially through James, because I saw the way that he was his mentor, the way he encouraged him and influenced him and helped him grow and to be a better person. And I'm very grateful for Gacha for, letting these people come to him with anything they had and him reaching out to them and hang on, I'm going to edit this in a second. And him reaching out to them and offering them a place just to speak their mind, to come to him with problems, anything like that. He had a very kind heart, and it's incredibly regrettable that he had to go so soon.
Okay, so I don't really know how to start this video, but the first time I met Gacha was through like one of Soap's group chats, I think. We just randomly added him. He was, chilling on the Twitter timeline, enjoying himself, doing the Gacha things. The man was, positive, got along with everyone. He was a big inspiration to everyone. He was like a big brother figure. He would always go around trying to help everyone, not trying to beef with them, trying to explain to them how things went, how he went through life as young, and, share his life advice. And the impact Gacha left on me was, try to be a hard worker, even though I don't show that very well, but that's beside the point. But he showed that anyone who works hard can get what they wanted, because he was striving every day on Dokkan, getting big views. He was always the first guy to upload a thing. He was right there at data download. As soon as it hit, he was right there, deafened instantly. You couldn't even tell him. He was gone. That guy was good. There's way too many for Gacha. That guy, every day in VC was a fun time. You'd come in there, you just make some stupid joke with him, and we'd carry it on for the rest of the day. And then no one really ever argued with Gacha either. It was real crazy, because we would say some wild ass shit to each other, and we'd never come back angry at each other, ever. It would just move on, clown each other, argue about something stupid, clown each other again. That's just how it worked with us. Gacha was a great guy. He didn't deserve to go out the way he did. I wanted more for him. I wanted him to, actually see where his work was going to take him. I wanted to see him prosper on the Dokkan YouTube channel. But unfortunately, COVID happens, and we all lost a great friend.
Alright, so I met Gacha through Nano's retweet with this whole interview. We talked a lot from there, got in VCs together after we started following each other. We really started talking a lot. It was over stupid stuff, it was just random things. And we brought us together. He introduced me to more friends, helped me through with a lot of stuff. But after his, I guess when he got hospitalized, I wasn't as scared that he would have passed. I was more of okay, he'll be fine. He's strong. This and that. I talked to him the night before he went into the hospital about, I think it was It was trying to help me make thumbnails because I wanted to do YouTube at the time. And we sat down and talked, and that was that. That was the last conversation I had. I got a DM from him around the time he got put in the hospital also, like telling him like, we're here for you, be safe type stuff. And then that night he passed, like it was like the 20th. I think at 2 a.m. I sent him a paragraph long DM thanking him for everything, like saying, oh, I can't wait to talk to you again. Because we were supposed to get in a call and stuff with I think it was one of his friends or his mom. And they were telling us about how, like, he could hear, I think it was, but, like, he couldn't speak. So, like, he could tap a response. So we were gonna let him at least hear our voices. And then there we were 12 hours later, hearing he passed. And since then, I kind of, like, I've really learned to appreciate life. Yeah, I mean, if you know me, I complain about it all the time, especially right now about school. But again, I will always appreciate this life I have, the people I have in my life. I'm always telling them that I love them, thanking them for everything, even if it's something small, thanking them, letting them know I appreciate it, because you never know when this could happen to someone else you care about. But I guess I'm just trying to keep this short. But again, one thing that I think really came out of this that will stick with me, other than all our experiences and times he helped me, was learn to appreciate life. Learn to let those, you love them, thank them. Don't hold petty grudges, because you'll feel horrible if someone passes away and you had a really petty argument about something. But I guess really I'm trying to keep it short, but yeah. I will forever love you, Gacha. Yeah.
I'll start with saying I didn't really know Gacha that well, but he was definitely a friend to me and the rest of the group when we talked, and even if I didn't feel like I was the closest to him, he was still very near and dear to me. I remember one time when we first met, I made a comment on one of his YouTube videos, something about Dokkan, and we got into a huge argument in the comment section. And the funniest part to me was that at the end of it, we both made up, and I found out he was crying, or like he cried about like how like riled up he got about it, and I just found it funny how like it really showed how he was just really a caring person, and I understood that feeling because I was also worked up after that argument. But I remember when we first heard that he passed away from COVID, I just broke down, and even today I still miss him, and I'm sure everybody else does, but what we have are the good times and how we basically brought the entire group together. I remember when Theo first got me into the group chat we're all in, and I met Gacha and everyone there through him, and a lot of that was because of Gacha to begin with. So right now I owe a lot of my friends to him, even though we didn't talk much outside of just in the group, which is nothing it's nothing bad, obviously, but I don't know, just sometimes I wish I was closer to him, if I'm being honest. But all I can really take from that is appreciate the moments we did have together. He did so much for everyone in the group. He always was very it was funny. He had these two sides in his YouTuber mode where he was so off the walls, and then sometimes he'd bring that back to the VC with him, and other times he'd be just the quietest person, just only really talking when someone talked to him. But when he was wild, he was definitely wild, and he brought a smile to everyone's face. Even though sadly I wasn't able to go to his memorial, I'm still glad everybody who did go gave him their best wishes to him, and to his family. He was and will be a very important part of everybody's life. And honestly, I think that's the most we can do is just honor what he brought to everyone and just appreciate how he brought everybody together.
Just wanted to make a video honoring and remembering Richard Swiggert's life. There's not a day that goes by that I don't miss him, and I, especially on a day-to-day basis, I see him in a lot of the things that I do, and there's things that, amongst our friends we talk about, and we wish he was there in the conversation, like things that he would have loved to have seen, and it's very difficult, and we find peace knowing that he's no longer suffering, and he's in a better place watching down on us, and he's free, he was such a beautiful soul from the first day I met him. He's a good person, and it's sad that he's no longer here and stuff, but yeah, I remember it was the summer going into the ninth grade. That's when I first met him. We were at a movie theater down in Miami, and I remember I think I was wearing like a Sonic shirt, and we just hit it off right away because Richie was a huge Sonic fan like me, and that at that point in time I had no idea that would that was the spark of such a fantastic and amazing and important relationship to me in my life. And man, he certainly left his mark, not only with me, but for all my friends. And again, I can't say it enough. We miss him. This year has been very, very rough, and we try to maintain his spirit and energy whenever we're together and stuff like that, and that's the best thing that we can do. And I try to remind myself of that, is that he would have wanted us to stay happy, and as his quote says, be annoying and chase your dreams. And to me, that positive energy is what I try to keep in my life, and I know I can say that for a lot of my friends as well. And that's the best thing we can always do to honor his life and remember him the right way. So Richie, I love you, buddy. I know I'll see you again someday, and until then, I will never stop honoring your memory, and I love you, buddy. So.
Gacha messaged me in 2020, I want to say, like about a year ago at this point. Like I was this recording, and when you probably guys are seeing this, and not a year ago, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, and he was just talking to me about just wanted to do an interview. Like I was making Dokkan content, he wanted to chat with me, just do a straight up interview, because I think at that time I've been about like 8-9 months into making content, and he was just like, hey, I just want to sit down, chat with you, get to know you, do an interview, put it on his channel. I'm like, cool, whatever. I specifically remember we set a time and a date, and I was like, dude, I have to go get a new car. My car died. Sorry, this is taking forever, blah, blah, blah. Eventually got there, and we were supposed to do it not sober, inebriated a little bit, and I just had to catch up. And it was just a fun time for about an hour to 2 hours of just talking about life. I was a big music head, metal head, so was he. He was in a bunch of bands, I wasn't too, and we were just sharing songs back and forth and talking about the games we played and stuff we liked and all that kind of stuff. And that's basically, like, I got a sense that even though he's a small streamer, or not streamer, small content creator, he's just a genuine dude. And that's what I loved about having chats with him, was he was just a genuine dude. Like, he liked the stuff he did. and of course everyone starts off that way, and some people kind of lose their way towards the end where they only do it for the money and blah blah blah. But for him, for the most part, he was doing it because he loved it. And that's when I decided, like, hey, I like the kind of vibe he had, and I wanted to bring him in when we started 5-9. And he was as I got to know him better, and he had better ambitions and things he wanted to do. I support everybody along the way that wants to do whatever they want to do. This is just how it is. So for me overall, like, that was it was great to get to know Gacha, and then, even though towards the end, but when we parted ways, we chatted once in a while. I've always had a great time talking to him, and again, for the most part, he's a genuine dude, and that's the one thing I really liked about him. And unfortunately, he was taken away from us because it's been about a year since his passing, and wish his friends and family my condolences, and hopefully they are working through it and understanding that he's in a better place. He's going to be fine, and they'll be fine too. So I just want to make this quick thing. I know it's scuffed, like a little phone thing, but again, I just haven't had time to sit down and really get in a good spot to get things out. So overall, it's been a year since Gacha passed, and I wish he was still with us, but we have all the memories we have from him. So.
Okay, hello everybody. I guess this is where I start this video. Not sure how I'm gonna do this, so bear with me. I don't know if this is gonna be what's on the screen when I'm talking, but I pretty much wanted to pull up the first, I guess, DM I've gotten from Gacha. We talked a little before this. I met Gacha, I believe, through a group chat with one of my other friends, and then we started talking, and I'm like, oh hey, he's a really cool guy, and he invited me to, I believe, his Discord server, and we would chat every now and then we'd be in BC, and this is the last message I know of, or not the last, the first message, the latest back that I know of that's like a DM or something that I could get to without scrolling for literal hours. I know we talked a ton. This message on December 8th, I think I've known him for at least around a month at this point. So, I knew Gacha for a while, not as long as some other people, which the people I talk to every day now, I've actually met through Gacha, so I'm very thankful for him for introducing me to everybody. He was a good guy. I can't tell you how many times there's been just a good moment that, I enjoy. I was trying to look for just a moment in general that I really liked, and I was like, oh, there's this one, just so many good moments with him that it's hard to just pick one and say that that's the best, because you just have a good time when he's around. You're not feeling the best, or you just need help with something, or you're just like trying to have a good time, he was always there with the best time he could bring. I remember there's times where I'd be like, hey, I need help with something, right? We would get into a call or start chatting, and I wish I could pull up like the multiple hour long voice chats we had, but I believe those were in other servers, and I'm not too sure how you can actually see that. But I remember I'd be like, hey, I need some help with something on my computer, and the computer thing would take like maybe a minute or two, and then the VC would be like 6 hours long, just because we just talk and hang out and have a good time. I feel like every time we talked or we're just hanging out with some of the other homies, I always, ended the day like, happy. It was like, dang, that's a good time. Like, today was a good day. It's sad around this time thinking back to it all. But I just want to say, man, I love you, Gacha. I miss you a bunch. I wish I could show you all these cool things that I've been doing. All the stuff you've helped me with that I feel like I've improved on, and I guess that's pretty much it. It's kind of hard to, talk about, as you could probably imagine. But I feel like Gacha helped me become a better person, and definitely helped me towards some of the goals I have. And I just wanted to thank him for it. And I just wanted to let others know that are watching this that Gacha was an incredibly good person, and that he helped me and just a ton of people in general with so much in life. It's just insane the reach he had and the effect he had on people.
What's up, James? This is for the Gacha video. I wanted to do this because, Gacha was a really good guy to me, man, and I just wanted to talk about him a little bit. Initially, I didn't want to, actually do the video, but I decided I'd do it because I was like, I don't want to just like miss the opportunity. So I was like, okay, I'll just do it. Yes. So how me and Gacha met, from what I remember, it was mainly through just, I watched Gacha's videos. I saw him through like the 5-9 gaming channel, and I was just, I'd see his videos come up, and he would just like talk about Dokkan. And at the time I was playing Dokkan, so I was very interested, and I would comment, just things that, I felt. And I remember reaching out and hitting him up, and I was like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it just clicked, he said he liked my content, I said I liked his, and it was just a thing from then. And I invited him to my Discord, and he'd talk a lot, and yeah, man, that's how me and Gacha met. Very cool. In terms of like the funny moments or like anything memorable I can remember, I do have one video here which I'll pull up. Very funny video. If you guys have not seen it, basically it's just the my live stream video for when Lolly Merlin dropped on Grand Cross, and I'll play the clip here because it's very funny what Gacha said. I don't know, it's just, you guys know of Merlin like in the anime is a Lolly, and it was just funny of what Gacha said because my reaction and the VC's reaction as well. So I'll let the video play so you guys can hear it as well, and yeah.
Didn't even show much there. What?
That's it. It showed her.
No, it has to be a joke. It has to be a joke.
What? Lolly Merlin?
Nah, it's not, man. It looked too real.
Oh, fine, you're right. It did look
Oh,
real.
bye. Chat, it's Lolly Merlin.
I mean, it's cute.
I don't know about that. I don't know if you can say that.
Even listening to this clip now, bro, is so good. But yeah, Gacha was like, I mean, she's cute, and everyone was like, I don't know about that. So it's just funny, man. Shout out to James for letting me do this video, and yes, rest in peace, GachaTalks, one of the goats for real. Love that guy, man.
Hey guys, what's going on? Ironcane here. Just want to take a sec to talk about GachaTalks, who unfortunately passed away. And he was one of the first people I met when coming into this space. And he was just so welcoming, so kind, so friendly, so warm, so down to earth. And we both shared an interest in, this blue boy right here, Sonic, and we really just hit off from there. He was into Nier Automata and games like that, so we shared similar interests. I was into Legends, he was into Legends, and actually one of the first YouTube videos that I appeared on for 5-9 Gaming was actually a tier list with Gacha, and that video would not have been done, and that video would not have been made without Gacha. I was just rambling, I was talking out my butt, and Gacha basically was curating the video. He was just guiding it, and without him that video would not have been made, and I appreciate him for that. My one regret is that we were working on the Sonic project together, this big video, going down the list of the history of the Sonic games. Unfortunately never saw the light of day, but Gacha was just a very passionate creator. You just felt his excitement, his warmth, very special person. And, that I just wanted to say my piece with him. And I always looking down at us, smiling, laughing, dude. He had an iconic laugh. He had an iconic laugh. And when I think Gacha, I can't help but smile, man. I can't help but smile. And I'm glad that he's one of the first friends that I made in this space. In the Dragon Ball community, honestly, he was the first person that I spoke to in voice calls and whatnot. Very, very nice guy. Was always open in DMs, reached out to me, wished me well and stuff like that. He actually told me to pursue content creation on my own, And that was just very touching, very touching. It's not something that I pursued yet, but if God just said if I could do it and I should do it, I might give it a shot. But yeah, I just want to give a sec to reflect on GachaTalks. Miss you, man. Miss you, man.
Hello. First I want to say thank you to everyone that's participating and making this video, remembering Richie for his 1 year anniversary, leaving this earth, but still with all of us in spirit. Richie was a ball of sunshine since the day he was born. He brought so much love, joy to everyone's life that he touched. He was always very, very smart, very wise for his age. He was an adventurous soul. He tried so many things and had so much fun. He made friends everywhere he went. Everywhere. Every school he went, every playground he went, every party he went to. He was truly a loving person his whole life. And I want to thank all of you for all your support and for remembering him and for supporting him in his passion in YouTube. There's nothing that he loved more than making his YouTube videos. He made so many friends there. He had a great time. It's just unbelievable still that he had to leave us so early. But he is with us all in spirit, being encouraged to live your lives, love, and be like Richie. Go after your dreams, enjoy your life, your family, your friends. Thank you.